Hello. Okay. Annick's perspective, Annick's point of view on the trade war and financial literacy. Stick around if you're enjoying the chat. This segment is going to be featured point of view of Annick. Agree to disagree, leave a comment. Up to you. Take what you wish from it if it helps bring clarity. All right, so the way that I see what's happening in the world right now on a geopolitical level is yes, okay, everyone's talking about tariffs. And people want me to speak on this topic. What do I think? And the way that I see it is, to me, tariffs, from a health psychology perspective, are coming across like boundaries. I'm a fan of boundaries. I feel like you can have very strict boundaries and you set what you're willing to negotiate or not negotiate based on those boundaries, that you can bend the rules a little bit depending on if that makes sense to you. So each country or political leader can have their strong boundaries, and that I feel is what the tariffs are. When it comes to wanting to do business, then that perspective can be further developed to say, okay, well, this is what's happening in the Western world. A lot of our economy are based on cash flowing assets or projects such as construction, roofing, accounting firms, doctors, psychologists, practitioners, health clinics, transportation. These are how our societies are built and how they are running and where all the cash is going. Obviously, there are mechanics and there are hardware stores that also are retail, obviously, is a building block of our society. Now, from Asia, the perspective I have is that they have similar economies and how the economy is built with their businesses. They also have a unique way of doing things with a little more feng shui, health, fitness, martial arts, that mindset training, that monk mode. That's a whole perspective and art in itself. And that is a way of life in terms of how the people are within these economies. They're very, very skilled people, extremely skilled, extremely intelligent. And I feel like it's people you want on your team. Now, I feel like everyone's saying, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't want to do business with you, our economy is fine. Cool. I'm sure by now, after COVID, each country has been able to prove how self-sustainable they are. Congrats. That is important. The next problem to solve is making the shipping systems work more efficiently, faster delivery rates. Each system that's operating today, whether you're in Europe or the Netherlands or Canada or different parts of the world, South America, Central America, Caribbean, they are fundamental systems that require attention from anyone, whether that's housing, transport, urban infrastructure. I love Singapore for their urban infrastructure. It's so impressive how they've took this small island and strategically placed each building and each road that it's like, that's how I feel like every new economy should be thinking and focused on building in that direction. UAE also very ahead of the curve. I feel like each leader, each person around the world of our 8 billion people are all curious to know what's happening on different sides of the world. How are the cultures? How does everyone live? What are the businesses at work? Can we trade? Can we do business? Is it going to work? And it would make sense that each country or each economy can say, well, these are our strengths and this is what we want to do to move business forward. Can you help us? Yes or no? Right. If no, that's fine. Then we find another solution. And you have to keep going in that direction. But at least the communication is there to say, well, these are our needs and these are our wants. Can we come together to negotiate how to get each country working or evolving in a way that is beneficial for each economy? Whether that's, in colder countries, their heating prices are exorbitant. I mean, I couldn't imagine being in Europe with no air conditioning for the summer. To me, the thought of that is like, and then apparently heating is just next level. And these are just, I mean, to me, it seems like an issue, but obviously there are bigger issues in Asia and Africa and India with poverty and clean water and these sorts of things. And I wish that I like what Bill Gates goes in that direction of at least being mindful to try to make something better. But look how long he took to get those toilets designed, you know? It's a project that you really have to get the community involved to see who has the best design to then move a project forward. That's what I learned from watching that. And I like that because in this case or situation, the way that I see it is the world leaders come together to discuss these points. Okay, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Get that out on the table, you know, put it in fine print if you wish. Then you say, okay, we're willing to do this, we're not willing to do that, and find a negotiation, compromise, put a price on it. And maybe the fines could be if you mess up or you try to cheat or steal or lie, then you are fined, whether something is taken away for a time or you have to pay a price for something. You know, this should be clear. Like, if you break these rules, this is your what you have to do to fix it. And then when you fix it, then, you know, the business partnership goes, but there are heavy fines associated with coming out of the business decision. I like the idea of Marines, Army being some of the most intelligent and fit people in the world because they are. And with the obesity epidemic, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have them training some more of the civilians and also to train people to have better safety in each economy. And they are like the fittest and well-trained types of people on this planet, I feel. And that's where I would position them. I mean, you could just act like toddlers and want to go to war, but you could also try to go the gentleman's business route where you put everything on the table, you make a deal, you shake hands, and you stick to your word, and you do something because you want to. And being respectful means you don't try to bully other people or put other people down or discriminate against other people's projects. I feel like let the markets decide what they want to buy and what not. But also keep the communication open. Yes, you may not agree on everything, but maybe sleep on something and talk about it in a few days if it gets heated. You know, sometimes you do need that space to think, go back to your family, get some refreshers, and then come back. And those are thoughts to consider. When it comes to the internet, I mean, we're all online now, and if we got surveys from this meeting on our phones, even like you're on an email list from the government, and like, can you vote? Do you agree with this for evolution? Do you not agree with this for evolution? On, you know, and people from all over the world can vote all over the world. Yes, each economy is important, but people like to travel, and people want to know what are the laws for each country to travel and do business, and why not make this easier for people to trade, make more money, get around the world, instead of just wanting to go to war, you know? Anyway, those are my thoughts, and I feel like if we gamify the money-making system, then everyone will be motivated to make more money, which everyone can level up accordingly, and it makes the world a better place. Those are what my thoughts are.